Eagle lands in. We are still playing the game Stardew Valley. We are going to go over quickly some things that we done last stream. Thankfully it didn't cut out, so the entire video will be available on Sarah the Eagle on YouTube, and I'm about to post it on the Facebook group soon, after this one goes live, and after we're done, which will be roughly 5:15. What I've been trying to do is, I know that a clean stream is usually about an hour and a half, like even, but the way that Stardew works is that with the time scale, you have until 2 a.m. in the morning, and that's your only save point. So I prefer to finish the actual days so we don't have to keep backtracking and redoing things that we had done in the previous stream. Just from a narrative perspective, it's a lot easier to do. Especially for you guys, because it would have to be like backtracking a few hours and having to redo things that we already did, and then that's confusing, so who wants to watch that? So, we're going to try to do it until about 5:15-ish. Welcome back, Thomas. I'm glad you're able to view it. I know that you had some internet issues as right on the cusp of us streaming, but you made it just in time. So we are going to go back to our file. We're going to go over what we had accomplished yesterday. Quite a lot, actually. Ignore that one. That's my old file that I'm working on. So we have been very productive in our last stream. So we got, as you can see, an entire new row of inventory. We were able to manage to save up enough money for our first backpack upgrade. Our second backpack upgrade will give us this whole other row of inventory, unlocking, I can't count, a total of 36 backpack slots, which will be integral for doing pretty much everything else in the game. We're not going to focus on the backpack upgrade as of right now, because we are going to instead focus today, as in today in real people time, some community bundles. So the thing that we also did last stream was we also unlocked the community center. So the community center is going to be plot A of this game, the first and primary plot. In order to complete the bundles, you just click on any one of these, and then it tells you what you need. For the most part, not all of them, but for the most part, the bank of things that you can put in these slots is usually greater in terms of quantity than the slots you need to fill. So you don't need to get every single one of these items, especially because the artisan bundle is the hardest one to get in the game. But you just get a few. So like, easiest one to do is one we already filled. Each of these bundles is only going to be 4 items. And then there are 4 things in the bank. The crafts room bundles are going to be the easiest to do because you literally pick them up off the ground. So the spring bundle we already did because we are still here in the month of spring. It is Friday the 12th. In this game, if you guys haven't seen my other streams before, you will know that Stardew runs on a bit of a weird timescale. It is not technically in our universe because there are things like dinosaurs and dragons and magic and dwarves, but it's close. But you'll also notice that time is a little strange too. There are only 4 seasons, and there are 4 months. So instead of the 12th of like January, in which it is like month 2 of winter, like we do it here, today is the 12th of spring. We are still in spring. You have 28 days of spring, 28 days of summer, 28 days of fall, and 28 days of winter. Those are your time frames that you're working in. The time scale as you'll go, we're paused for the time being, but you'll see that every day starts at 6 a.m., every day ends at 2 a.m. We, however, will be cutting that off early, because if you go to bed after 1, you get an energy penalty, which, as of right now, we can't afford. We have too little energy to begin with. As you can see, we started with a bit of an energy penalty. I think last night we just got it really close on going to bed, so we do have a bit of an energy penalty. Everything you do in this game costs energy. It is the other valuable commodity that must be spared sparingly, as can time. So with the bundles, these are going to be the easiest to fill. This will be our reward. This will fix the bridge that goes to the quarry. That means that we'll have a whole extra little set of minerals and materials available to us that respawns every other day, which will be invaluable, especially when you're trying to get ore to upgrade your tools, to make new crafting stations, and to build buildings to expand your farm. So the one that we completed was all the spring forageables. I think it was like what was it? It was a daffodil, a dandelion, and 2 others I can't remember. But it's easy because you get to just pick them up off the ground, but it's difficult because if you miss a bundle on your season, like if we were to go into the month of summer and we just didn't find a sweet pea, you'd have to wait an entire year to fill that out, or get really lucky with the traveling merchant, which we did. 2 streams ago, the difficult stream, in which we found a pomegranate. Technically, you need up to 2 pomegranates to really complete a good number of the bundles. Let's see, which one did we put the pomegranate in? Winter foraging, summer foraging, exotic foraging? Okay, so maybe we didn't put the pomegranate in the bundle. That's okay. We can do that today. Let's go check. But first, let's check the weather and the fortune teller. If you can hear from my audio, it's currently raining, which means that we will not have to water our crops, which means energy we get to keep for other things. But the weather report will always tell you the next day's weather, which will be important to plan out your day and also to plan out certain upgrades for your tools. Clear and sunny day tomorrow. Okay, our first festival's tomorrow. Good to know. What you're going to want to do, today's goal is to make as much money as possible. And the reason for that is we have a good bit of money right now. Good. But if we make a ton of money, it's very important to make a lot of money right before the egg festival. If you got to save up for like a big investment, whether it's the backpack, preferably get your backpack soon, but if you don't have your backpack by now, I'd say put it off just another week, because you want as much money as possible, because during the egg festival, Pierre sells strawberry seeds. And strawberry seeds, I think they're 100 apiece, but strawberry seeds are extremely, extremely lucrative, and they only grow during the spring. And here we are, almost halfway through spring. So what we're going to do is we're going to spend every cent we have on strawberry seeds. The thing with strawberries is that unlike parsnips, which when you harvest them, they're out of the ground and you have to buy seeds to replant them, strawberry seeds, once you plant them and once they grow, they take a while, but once they grow, they produce every other day, and they keep producing until they die. So they will be producing all the way into the end of spring. They will die for the summer, which will suck, but if we can get a good number of strawberry seeds and then hold on to them, when we get our crafting stations later on in the progression, we can turn them into strawberry jam, which sells for a ton of money. You can use them for mine food because they have a lot of energy, so that's really, really good. You can just sell them at base, but why when you want to turn them into strawberry wine, which sells a good chunk each. You can more than triple the value of each individual strawberry if you do that. And we'll be getting casks and preserve jars to do those things much, much later. We haven't even learned those recipes yet, but I swear we'll get them. That's part of the snowballing effect that Stardew is known to have. So your progress in Stardew will snowball. You'll hit a few mile marks. Our first one being our backpack, so good. That expands the number of things you can do during a day, which ups your productivity, which ups the amount of money you can make, which ups the number of things you can carry, which ups the number of bundles you can complete, and so the game will then spiral upward, snowball. Positive feedback loop, which for the progress of the game will make it more accomplishing and more fun. You'll feel like the work you put into isn't becoming the exact output. Your progress is more than the sum of the parts that you did the previous day. You'll really feel like the progress starts building. It's one of the nice parts about early game because your progress can expand so quickly. You just have to make sure that you can somewhat plan and strategize because your time is so short. I think the scale is, I think it's like a minute per second or so. So every 10 seconds-ish, 10 minutes will go by, and it's that until 2 a.m. So let's check our luck. Luck is the other thing that determines what you end up doing today. Okay, so neutral. So we could literally do anything, and it's fine. I'd say because it's raining, the fishing luck will be good. So we probably should spend some time fishing just because we have been fairly successful with that. Now, the other thing that I had meant to mention when I was talking about strategy is if you derp, and I derp often, on this game, and you screw up, you don't get to Clint's on time to break open that geode that you were really hoping on. You didn't get to Pierre's on time, and now you can't buy seeds for the day, and you're going to miss an entire day's harvest. You can always exit the game, go back to title, so long as you don't get to you going to sleep, the end credits of them tallying up what you had done for that day and how much money you made, and you hitting OK. So long as you get to that screen and you don't hit OK, and you exit to title or just like literally close out the whole window, the whole game, you will be able to restart that day. I have done it many times, especially on my old file. It's actually quite funny. I think it says that I've logged like 60-something hours or so on that game, but in-game I've spent quote-unquote like a lot less like in-game time. If you do the math, I've spent a lot of time restarting days. So alright, so our luck is going to be like neutral, which is fine. Oh, I forgot to pet the cat. There we go. Alright, so we have neutral luck. Our cauliflower is almost grown. Our beans have produced already. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Dad. If you roll female in this game, your dad sends you money. If you're a male in this game, then your mom sends you cookies. Don't ask me how that works. It's kind of weird, but you get cookies, and they're things that you can eat and gives you energy. So this is just a reminder for the Egg Festival tomorrow. You can miss it. So make sure when they tell you that there is a time in which you arrive that you get there between that time. Because if you miss it, especially this one, you get no strawberries. And if you get no strawberries, you're screwing yourself out of a ton of money. And that's bad. Alright, so it is Friday. There are 2 things that we need to do today. One, visit Pierre, because I believe we don't have any auxiliary seeds. No, we don't. Okay, we haven't dropped off the pomegranate, so that'll be one other thing that we do. Throw that in. No, we're going to sell one of them, so let's sell 2 of them. I think we can sell these parsnips, because I think, and you can always check your community bundles from home, you can't fill them from here. You do have to physically go to the community center to do it, but you can always check your bundles from here, check your own progress, see what you need. If you're at the traveling merchant, you'll be like, wait a minute. Yeah, see? If you're at the traveling merchant and you see something you think might be a bundle item, you can always check. And this is one of the most useful things I wish I had known when I had started playing, because I've wasted so much time running to the community center just to check a bundle, when I really could have just done it from what I was doing where I was. Alright, so let's sell a couple of... let's bring these with us. Let's go to Pierre's and bring these with us. The other thing that we need to do on Friday is find the traveling merchant. The traveling merchant only shows up on Fridays and Sundays. The last time we went to the traveling merchant, we found a bargain pomegranate, so we are definitely going to prioritize doing that. Pomegranates, by the way, for those who hadn't been watching the previous stream in which I gasped and then just went on a whole tirade about it, pomegranates are one of the hardest things to find in this game. Oh, also, Thomas told me you can pet the pig. He oinks! That's great. Okay, thank you, Thomas. Absolutely worth it. But, this is something that takes a long time to get, because you have to build the coop, you have to buy your rabbits, which you can only get if you upgrade your coop after having chickens, and then maybe they will produce a rabbit's foot. But that'll cost everything we have. But she also sells a cherry. Yeah, decisions. Thankfully, we bought the pufferfish already, so that is a bundle item. Normally a very difficult bundle item to get unless your fishing is very high. But thankfully, the first time we visited the traveling merchant, she had one, so that we don't need. Cherries you can only get if you buy a cherry sapling, plant it in the winter, and then it takes a good bit of into spring after that to produce cherries. And this is actually a pretty good deal, so we're going to buy this. But I did just say we were saving up for strawberries, and it is possible that she'll come up with a rabbit's foot later. So I think buying just one thing off of her will be okay. Rare seeds are nice to stockpile, but not at this stage. We don't have enough money to start stockpiling rare seeds. And the traveling merchant does have them fairly frequently. I've only just started planting them in my greenhouse. this past week, like Real People Week, in my old file, and she's on year 2. So don't worry about like too much of these. The Void Essence will be popular later, but we'll find those in the mine for free. Bug Meat, we can find those in the mine for free. Fried Egg, that's one of the first things you can learn to make, so don't worry about that. Barbed Hook you'll be able to buy from Willy at way less than this, so don't worry about that either. Iron Fence you'll be able to craft. You just get the recipe for free after a certain point in your crafting abilities, and once you start getting iron, so we really don't need those. So I think for the time being, we'll be okay with the cherry. That's fine. This is why we go to the Traveling Merchant every Friday. One other thing, when you get on later in the game, we can't do it right now, but for anybody who plays Stardew right now, we're just going to check on the spring onions, but while we're going there, if you're playing Stardew and you're much, much further, the other thing to do is to visit Krobus. Krobus lives in the sewers, and he sells iridium sprinklers every Friday. So if you have 10 grand that you can spend, do it. If you don't know who I'm talking about, it's a spoiler, but I'm not going to tell you anything about Krobus. Just know that he's going to be very important later, and he also sells iridium sprinklers. We will be able to build sprinklers actually fairly soon. So sprinklers, as you would imagine, water your crops for you. You can't necessarily always rely on rainy days, especially in summer, because summer is, like real summer, pretty dry. You don't usually see a lot of rainy days in summer, because of course not. You do get some thunderstorms at the end of summer, but it's not something you can really technically rely on, especially if you're trying to upgrade your watering can. I would suggest that when you do that, you make sure to check your weather forecast. And if the weather forecast says that the next day it's raining, don't wait till the day that it's raining. Put your watering can in with Clint that day. Because that means so long as he has your watering can, you can't water crops. So if the day before it rains is the day you put your watering can in, you're hopefully after you've watered your crops that day. I've had to restart a couple times because I was a derp. So if you water your crops the day before it rains, you bring your watering can to Clint. He's going to be working on it. He's going to be working on it until 2 days later. The next day it rains, in which you wouldn't have needed to water them anyway, so you don't lose any progress on watering your crops. Watering your crops hastens the gestation, means you get your crops faster. Crops mean money, money means time, time means pizza, etc. Because if you put your watering can in the day that it rains, cool, you didn't have to water your crops that day, but then you can't water your crops the next day, and then you can't water your crops for a good part of the day after that. You're kind of screwing yourself out of money. So we are going to sell a couple of these potatoes. Always sell your gold stuff. Let's sell, both parsnips, why not? Okay, so that's some money that we've made almost completely back. And we're going to, let's see, we want to keep our money, like I said. So let's just get a couple of these. Yeah, we'll wait on that. Alright, so let's go to the community center, and I'll give you a bit more of a tour of the community center for those who hadn't watched the stream the other day. And I will post it on Facebook, I promise. You can find it on my YouTube page. The stream from Saturday is up there. It's the hour and 8-minute one is the one that had cut out stupidly. But the one after that, the most recent, is going to be the Saturday one. So I believe the pantry one is the one that we're going to be doing. So we need potato. Boom. Quality crops, we need... This is going to be the hardest one of this one to do, because you need 5. Thankfully, you only need to choose 3 of these 4 crops to make sure that you get gold ones, but you cannot start putting them in. You can't put 1 gold crop in at a time. You have to do them on all 5. So you have to make sure that you're saving all of these and using fertilizer. Nope, not going to get that till later. Already did that one. Nope. Nope. There we go. In and in. These 4, all 6 of these come from trees. They come from saplings that normally you would have to buy. They're very expensive. They take an entire season to gestate, and then the season after is when they grow. So I believe this is a spring one. This is a spring one. These are the summer ones. These are the fall ones. So what you would want to do, and we're not going to do this because it's our first year and we don't have that kind of money. What you would want to do is once you got the saplings, which I think are a couple thousand each. I think they're anywhere between like 2,500 and 6,000 gold each. You would plant them the season before. Because if you plant your spring trees in the spring, they might sprout for one day. Maybe. So you'd want to plant them the day before. But that's getting them the hard way. Getting them the easy way would be if the traveling merchant gets them, or if we're able to do it this stream, I'm not sure, but it'll be sometime in the next probably 3 or 4 streams. Demetrius will ask us to use the cave on our base, and I will show you guys that later. He'll give you an option in which to put mushrooms or bats in it. I've always chosen the mushrooms just because they're lucrative. They're otherwise difficult to find. You have to get down into the mines but to level 80 just to even see them. Or to be in summer, you can get a head start on your mushroom bundles if you choose the mushrooms, and they're always super lucrative. You can sell them for like stupid amounts of money. Or you choose the fruit bats, which I've not done. So let's try that on this stream, just for variety's sake, because I believe the fruit bats give you a higher chance of finding exotic fruit, which will help you fill these bundles. So we're going to try to do that. So I believe those are the only bundles we can fill for the time being. So we have the pantry, which if we were to fill this bundle, if we were to complete it and do all of these, you get the greenhouse, which in my opinion is the most important bundle reward in the game. This is the first bundle reward we will get, and it will repair the bridge to the quarry. As I had said, the quarry is very useful because it's basically just free minerals that you don't have to go to the mine for. This one, you get the glittering boulder removed, which there's a glittering boulder next to the mine, and the glittering boulder means that you get to pan for ore. So if you see a little glittery water animation thing, you bring your copper pan, which it'll give you way later in the game. Once you get it, you get to pan for ore, and the ore could be anything. It could be copper, it could be iron, it could be gold, it could be iridium. Doesn't matter where it is, it's just by chance. And the fish tank ones we will be filling periodically. These are also seasonal, much like the crops, and then they are also location-based. So the night fishing, obviously you would only get them during the night. Walleye's going to take us a while because it only spawns during the night when it's raining in one particular spot. I can't remember where. This is the lake fish. Obviously you can catch at the lake. Don't worry about the sturgeon for the while. Sturgeon's going to be freaking hard. He's the hardest one to catch. Crab pots are if you build crab pots and get them. You cannot find them any other way with the exception of maybe like these 5. Because they can be forageables on the... you can get this one in the mines, but like for the most part, you can find these on the just on the ground if you check the ocean often enough, which I do. Ocean fish, self-explanatory. Specialty fish. We got the pufferfish from the traveling merchant, as I had said. Ghost fish only spawn in the mine on those random points where you see water. Sandfish only spawn in the desert, as you would imagine. Wood skip you can get normally, I just don't remember where to get them. It's been a while since I filled this bundle. Riverfish is probably the ones we're going to get first. Riverfish or ocean fish. So those are the ones we get. We do get more. There will be one here in the bulletin board. That one's difficult. There will be one here in the safe, which costs money, which we don't have. There will be a construction one here, which will be for bars. That we will be unlocking that soon, though. And this, the reward for the construction one, is going to give you the minecart, which in my opinion is the second most important bundle reward. Alright, so we did the bundles. We've gotten that. We said we were going to go fishing, but I want to show you guys one more thing. There's a little secret that nobody told me about until I watched... Oh, hey, Sebastian. If we're... completely lost my train of thought. Sorry, that's my in-game husband in my other game. I can't help myself. So, right, so there's a secret that I wish somebody told me sooner than when I found it out. This is the glittering boulder, by the way. When you go into the mines, there's this little area. You take a cherry bomb, plant it, run, because it causes damage. hidden NPC. And we can't understand a word he says because he speaks Dwarvish. When you learn Dwarvish, which will take finding all 4 Dwarven scrolls, we're going to be planting crops, we're not going to be doing the mine just yet. In the mines, that you find these artifacts called Dwarven scrolls. When you bring all 4 Dwarven scrolls to the museum, he gives you a compendium. And so from that compendium, you get to learn Dwarvish. Once you learn Dwarvish, you get to talk to that NPC that we just saw. He's just, I think he's just called Dwarf. If he has a name, please tell me in the comments. And he sells bombs at a way better rate than What's-Her-Face in the desert. So, I don't remember her name. Alright, so... yeah, so when we unlock that, this cave is where Demetrius will put either the mushrooms, if you choose, or the bats. We're going to choose the bats just because I've never tried it, and I'm told that they're very, very lucrative to help fill bundles quickly. Like, if you want your community center bundles finished quickly, then you get the bats. And I've never tried it, so I think it would be interesting. Alright, so... gonna sell that one, because I said we were going to try to get as much money as possible. Oh, while we were up there, we should have dropped these off, but that's okay. We'll be keeping those until we learn recycling stations. Yeah, we have the furnace. We've already done that. We've already gotten... oh, we could. For every 5 ore, you need 1 copper. Or, sorry, 1 coal. And we're gonna wait to upgrade our... we do have the bars. We don't yet have the money. We will tomorrow, but we're gonna wait because we need strawberry seeds first. So we're gonna hold off on that. Alright, I'd say because we need money, let's go down to the ocean and catch us some fish. We already got the spring onions, so that's fine. I swear this stream is not supposed to just be about fishing, but it's the most... there's Sam. It's just one of the fastest, most lucrative, most energy efficient ways to make money that I know in the game, and I happen to be good at the fishing tutorial, or the fishing minigame, which I know is difficult. It is definitely difficult in the beginning. Stupidly so. Because your fishing bar is really low, the fish have different thrash factors, so you're not sure if you're going to catch an easy fish, a hard fish, or like an impossible fish. So as in every stream, I'll go over what the fishing minigame consists of. As you cast, you get a bar. The closer to the max you hit, the farther you cast. The farther you cast, the better the fish is probably going to be. You catch a lot of trash in the red. You get mostly hits and good fish in the green. So... you keep this bar on the fish at all times until the bar here off to the right completes, and then you catch the fish. So here's my casting bar. You want it to get closest to max as you can. You can also angle your cast with your A, your W, your S, your D, depending on which angle you're facing, in case you see a bubble or in case you have to angle it. I'm going to hit W just to show you. That was D, whatever. Okay, so this fish is a little thrashier. So I like to make little clicks. Cool. I like to make little clicks just to keep it on the fish, because if you hold the mouse down, the bar goes all the way to the top and exceeds the fish. Ooh, this one's very thrashy. Okay. Yeah, I'm just clicking a lot. Just click, 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 just to keep it on the fish. It's going to drop. There we go. Oh, nice! Usually you only catch those at night. You guys are good luck. We've already put the eel in the bundle too, so this is just money. Every cast does cost you energy, though, as you can see. which is why I always have a couple slots with some, forageables, some food, etc. As you can see, we are also catching forageables like seaweed, which you can either use for cooking if you do have the kitchen, or you can just eat, which is good because it'll replenish the energy that you take making casts. There we go. Our first iridium rank! Oh boy. Okay. That means our fishing skill has really improved since we started. So, here's how the ranks go. We have almost everything represented. Actually, we do have everything represented. Cool. So, your items get ranked. Your tools don't. With the upgrades, they maintain a constant ranking. But depending on your skills, sea fishing is the highest, no surprise there. Your farming items, your artisanal goods, your forageables, your fishables are ranked. And the higher the ranking, the more it sells for. The more it sells for, obviously, the better. It also means that the item itself is better. So if we had an anchovy that was silver ranking, it wouldn't give you as much energy or as much health. Here, I'll show you the difference. 42 energy. Well, okay, not really, because these are all technically different fish. So they're going to all have different ones anyway. But a silver eel is going to give you more energy and more health than a non-ranked eel, which is the one that we put in the bundle. But if I caught a gold eel, it would give you slightly more energy and more health. And if I caught an iridium eel, it would give you more energy and more health. We are not going to sell this yet, because there is a festival in the fall in which it's a little contest. You basically put the best things that you have from your farm into a large container, and you get ranked on them. And if you win, you get enough tokens to buy a star drop, which will increase your energy permanently, and we want that. So you want to fill it with the best things you have, and the best things you have usually include iridium ranked everything. So we're going to keep that. We are going to sell most of the other things, though, which is good because we want the strawberries. The more strawberries, the more money. The more money, the faster we can afford a lot of the good stuff. Little thrashy. You will start learning the fish's thrash patterns and identifying which fish it most likely is. Also, the higher your fishing skill improves, the bigger your bar gets. If you guys go back and watch my first stream, I'm fairly certain that the fishing bar, the little green bar that you have to move to be on the fish, was smaller than it is now. It does also increase when you improve... Oh, big thrash. When you improve your actual fishing pole. We're using the bamboo fishing pole. It's just the second worst in the game next to a training pole. So it's not going to be great, but when you get better ones, you get a larger fishing bar, which makes fishing a little easier. So I swear, with practice, it does get easier. Yeah, see how much longer we can do stuff now that we're not having to run back and forth to our base constantly? Because we have, those 12 extra slots helping us out. Differently ranked items do cost extra slots, so it's nice to have that extra space. Oh, that was easy. Oh, hello, flounder. We haven't caught one of those yet. And I'm 50% certain it's a bundle item? I think that's what I thought last game. We can check. Okay. Ooh, gold eel. Yeah, see, let's see the difference. This will illustrate my point. So the silver eel gives you 42 energy and 18 health. The gold eel gives you 54 energy and 24 health. I would, however, suggest that you sell these instead. Alright, so flounder. Move your arrows to the fish tank. We caught him in the ocean, so he'd probably be in the ocean bundle. Okay, no. He's not part of those bundles. Alright, he'll just be straight up money. That's fine. That's what we like to hear. Ooh, this is Thrashier. This might be an eel. For the Thrashier fish, I like to keep the fish at the top of my bar, because that way when it drops, it doesn't have to drop as far. And you have a better chance of catching it. Better chance of keeping it on the fish. Yeah, that was an eel. As you would in like actual real fishing, learning the fish patterns can help you determine what you've got. And getting better at catching them means you will get better rankings of them. So the more you try to catch certain fish, the better you will get at it, and the better versions of those fish you will get. The other thing, rain will always increase your fishing luck, specifically. But in early game, I would actually suggest you spend your good luck days in the mine. Bad luck days mean that you get crappier fish. And if you're trying to raise your fishing skill, you want to do that, because good luck days will bring out the hardest to catch fish, which you will not be able to catch. And your fishing skill, I believe, increases with the number of successful casts that you have that you bring fish in. So you want to spend your early game days with bad luck fishing. That will increase your skill the fastest. I mean, hell, we've been only doing fishing on mostly neutral and bad luck days, and we already have an iridium level fish. So, clearly it's working. And we're going to really set ourselves up. Okay, so let's see. We can drop a couple of these in the bundle. I would suggest silver at most. Leave your golds for selling. I try not to drop, unless it's super rare. Like if I only have a gold sturgeon, and I know it's going to be probably another 3 weeks before I catch it, and you can only catch sturgeon, I think, in the fall and the summer and the winter, I think. Under very strict circumstances, would I only put a gold item in the bundle? But, oops, overshot it. But for the most part, I try to only put, like, silver or rankless items in bundles. Because you can't get them back, and you can't switch them out. Like, once I put this in the bundle, that's it. You can't take it out. So if you put an iridium thing in there, oh well, that's where it's living now. This is the choice you've made. Alright, so let's put some silver ones in here. Oh, wrong fish. Oh yeah, it's an anchovy. Oh, we only have gold ranked sardines. Yeah, we're not putting those in there. I'm not making a hypocrite out of myself. Lakefish, nightfish. Alright, we'll booger that. We'll just put them in the bin. And then we'll cut some trees down, just because, 1, we can, 2, we have a little excess energy, and 3, you make fertilizer out of sap, and fertilizer increases the quality of your product, which we want if by the end of spring we need to get, I think, 4 more gold-rated parsnips. If we don't, we're going to have to wait an entire other year. Because once you harvest items, you cannot increase their value. Drop this in here. Yeah, we've only got 1. We need 4 more. So let's sell all this. We're going to keep that, though. What I like to do is I like to keep a separate chest for things that I'm trying to stockpile. for either certain events or for bundles. So let's do that. By the way, you can also color your chests for organizational purposes. So because my iridium stuff is going to live in here, I usually keep this chest purple. You can't see it, but during the day you will. This is usually going to be like my lucrative, like, I keep seeds in here kind of thing. So I usually keep this chest green. We have an auxiliary seed in here too, which will work just fine. Put that back. These are all forageables. We don't need that much space at the moment. Since we're going to be harvesting strawberries, let's expand this a little further. Tomorrow we're going to be spending most of the day at the festival. It'll drop us off at night. So let's make the space now. Like I said, we're going to be getting as many strawberries as we can afford, which won't be that much, but it'll be worth it. We also want to make fertilizer, because if we fertilize it, it won't disappear on us. Hopefully not, at least. Alright, so we're going to chop some trees down. Oh, nope, we're not. It's midnight. Let's chop one tree down. Yeah, look how much energy that takes. When we upgrade our axe, that will not be the case. Today we can afford to take an energy penalty, so let's actually stay up late. Because tomorrow's a festival day, we're not going to be needing the energy. You don't expend energy on festival days, for the most part. So we can actually afford to stay up past 1. Once we get the star drop and increase our energy, and we find more star drops as we go, it will be safer and more likely that you will need to stay up past 1. So as I had said, 2 p.m. is when the game technically penalizes you, because did not mean to do that. Oh well. But so like, don't be out past 2 pretty much ever. So it's getting really close, so let's call it a night. So here's your save screen. This is the only save point you get each day. It tallies what you made. Good, that's like 7 seeds right there. If you don't hit OK, if you screw up and you realize that you screwed up, exit the game right now and restart the day. But, obviously since we didn't, we're going to hit OK. It's festival day. Progress is saved. Okay, it's festival day, so it's usually good luck on festival days. Not always, but usually. The report for tomorrow is going to be beautiful and sunny, which means that we do have to water our crops today before we go and do anything. Oh, here it is. Freaked out for a second. Yeah, see? I missed one spot, but that's because it was dark. But now we don't have to re-hoe and do this. We're also having a couple things that we can harvest, which is good because it's more slots for strawberries. Or, if we can afford it, other seeds. The festival hasn't started yet, by the way. It said between 9 and 2, so we do have some time for chores before any big things happen. Cauliflower! We need a cauliflower for a bundle, if you remember. Cauliflower are also the most expensive, good for us because we're selling it, vegetable in the spring. So they sell really well, but they also take the longest to grow. You can really only feasibly get, if you plant them the very first of spring, I think you can get only 4 crops of cauliflower. Unless you get speed grow. Speed grow is very difficult to get in the game. You can make it after a certain point, but only after a certain point. Throw those in there. We can sell these. Okay, none of these are gold. Save every bit of sap that you get, because fertilizer is what's going to help make your crops quality level. I don't know if you can sell these to Pierre during a festival. We'll give it a shot. I mean, why not? And then I think let's make this red, red. And then we're just going to be organized here. We're going to put our other crafting materials in there. So let's take all of the things that are used for crafting. Oh yeah. Take a couple of trips. I'm used to having the full backpack experience. Yeah, see, look at the energy penalty we took. We probably started at about here, and then we watered everything. That's why in early game I suggest you go to bed at midnight, because if you go to bed after midnight before 1, you don't take an energy penalty. Alright, let's store those. Alright, and we're not going to need the watering can for the festival either, so let's drop that. We're also not going to need the forageables, because, again, when you go through the festival, it doesn't expend any energy. It's a whole different thing. Granted that. I would like enough sap to fertilize the rest of our plots. We need one. Let's see. We need 3 more. The festival has started, but you don't technically have to show up at the beginning, because as I had said, time stops. So let's... Nope. Eat this leek. Chop 1 more tree down, and then we'll head over. The festival starts when you show up, so you essentially have a Kesha moment. Excellent, just enough. Okay, good. Let's put our stuff away. I like to keep wood in both places, because this can be like my wood chest for, like, you know, building more chests, and then this is my crafting station for, like, building other stations and such. We'll put that in the community center, but after the festival. These we can just straight up sell. I'll see if we can sell them to Pierre. I'm not actually certain. Worm pile! Clay. Good, clay can be lucrative. Oh, and there's a dandelion up here. We can sell that too. Or use it as a forageable. Alright, so here's the festival. See, look, your energy bar goes away and there's no time. So you can literally spend however long you want at this festival. There are the strawberry seeds. We're gonna buy so many of them. And no, I guess we can't sell stuff. Alright. We'll put them in the bin when we get home. Linus is the local homeless man. Everybody treats him like crap, which is dumb. Clint is the blacksmith, if you'll remember. Pam just admitted to spiking the punch. She is one of the local drunkards, which is why this game isn't kid-friendly. She is also the bus driver, and as you'll know, the bus driver position has been eliminated because the bus does not run. The bus, once you get it running, which is the reward for filling the vault, which will take 125,000 gold in total, so you're going to take a while to do that one. The reward is to be able to go to the desert, which is where the skull caverns are, which is where you can get the best weapon in the game, and which is also where you can find cactus fruit and coconuts, which are bundle items. You can. I was able to find them at the traveling merchant, but if we happen to not be so lucky, we can work towards that. Gus is the saloon owner, as you know. Food is his specialty. Robin is the carpenter. She builds everything for you. She can improve your house. She gives you buildings that you can use to farm animals, a shed in which you can put pretty much anything you want in there. I like to put crafting stations like preserve jars and kegs. She is essentially your ticket to expanding your farm. Demetrius is her husband, and also one of the only black people in town, if not the only black person in town. Caroline is Pierre's wife. Willie is the fisherman. Marlin is the grizzled old miner. Here is Mayor Lewis. The Egg Festival starts when you tell him to, but I always like to talk to everybody first, because talking to them does increase their friendship level, even though it's not as much as giving them a gift. It still keeps face. Also, if you haven't introduced yourself to all the NPCs, festivals are a great time to do it, because literally everyone shows up. Except the wizard, because he's a loner. But you'll talk. By this point, we've already talked to the wizard, so you know who he is. His name is Resmudius, but most people just call him the wizard. Like, it'll literally say down here in the corner, wizard. This is Emily. You can date Emily. You can also date Leia. She's Robin's sister. You can also date Elliot. He's the pretty boy. I know my friend Jenna dates him. I was married to him, actually. Vincent and Jazz are the two kids. Penny is also a dateable person. I've said this in other streams, but every character is bisexual, no matter how you roll your character or whatever you make them look like. All of the single characters in your social tab are dateable. It's not like Mass Effect or like Dragon Age where you have to only date the characters that are available for your character's sexuality. Like, you just go to the person. If it says single, you can date them. Done. And then you just get their hearts up to this point in which you can finally ask them out. So anybody that says single, whether it's Sebastian, Abigail, Alex, Leia, Emily, Elliot, Penny, Shane, Sam, any of these characters are dateable. And this is Maru, by the way. Alright, so I think I've spoken to just about everyone except these 5. Sebastian, Sam, Abigail, Haley, Alex. Here's George. He's the curmudgeon. He isn't curmudgeonly all the time, and you do actually get more story about him, and it's a little sad. Evelyn is his wife. She's much nicer, but I think there's a mean streak to her that I haven't seen yet. So once you've spoken to everybody, I'd say now is about the time to do the egg hunt. So the egg hunt is a bit like musical chairs in that you can find little eggs around town, but you're under a strict time limit. Once the music ends, you have to turn in. So you got to beat these children to get number 1, and you got to beat Abigail. She is the person to beat. She always wipes the floor with the children. I think she usually gets about 8 or 9, so if you can get about 9 or 10, you usually win. And you got to have real sharp eagle eyes. What I would do is I would say learn the area first, because the egg moats are pretty small. See, they're pretty small. But once you know the area and you sort of know what it looks like without eggs, and you have unlimited time to do this, because again, festivals eliminate time, and there's also no energy limit like there usually is during the day. So you can just learn the terrain as you want, because you're going to have some fairly sharp eyes to spot a lot of those more hidden eggs. So whether we win or lose, I'll at least show you how it's done. I like to hang around Mayor Lewis's house because there's usually quite a few. He says a little speech first. The most important thing during this festival was the strawberries, which we have done. If you forget, so long as you go to Pierre's before the festival ends, you can still get the strawberries. I just like to do that first and get out of the way because I'm super forgetful. And you do get prizes even if you're not number 1, but you do get the best prize if you are number 1. So we're going to shoot for it. We may not get it, but we'll shoot for it. Alright. Alright, so there's 1. 2. Alright, not so many this year. Alright, that's not 1 then. 4. 5. 6. Bollocks. The time I'm spending running around is time I'm not spending getting eggs. 6. Yeah, there's 1 in Mayor Lewis's house. I know there's 1 up there, I saw it. But the timer's gonna run out soon. Come on. There we go. Yep, there goes the timer. Alright. And again, you can always redo this day if you just go right, close the window, or you just go back to the title screen. I think 8 is just enough for 2nd place. That's such a dad joke. It's usually Abigail. Yeah, I figured as much. Oh, alright, you just don't get a prize then at all. Fine, whatever. I do know that you get 2nd and 3rd place prizes for, Oh! Alright, good to know. Everything I said about you being able to get strawberry seeds, I guess, was not true. So... Get them right when you get... So long as you get the strawberries before you start the egg hunt, you'll be okay. We got just enough! And because we already watered it, and because we already did all of that, we haven't lost any time. We've planted them right away. We'll be getting a good harvest. I think strawberries take about 8 days to germinate, something like that. So let's drop the clay off. We're going to drop these off. And then I think we do have just enough time to drop off the cauliflower in the bundle, so we're going to do that. And you don't need to have it in your action bar to drop it off in the bundle, because interacting with bundles automatically opens up your entire inventory, and then you can just pick it from there. So you don't need to spend the time to rearrange your items. Yeah, so my instinct of hanging around Mayor Lewis's first would have been a good one. I wasted some extra time wandering around in the other direction. Should not have bothered. Thankfully, our beans are trellis crops, and like the strawberries, once they start producing, they keep producing, so this won't be difficult to fill. We'll fill this bundle in no time. Animal bundle will take the longest, just because you need to have a barn with animals that produce products. Large milk, as you imagine, comes from cows. These come from chickens. This comes from a duck. It's a duck egg. Wool comes from rabbits or sheep. And a large goat's milk, bet you can't guess where that comes from. That's right, it's a cow. Fall crops, you can really only grow through the fall, summer. So these bundles, because they're seasonal, you can't finish quickly. You can't necessarily just plow through them. You really do have to budget what you're doing, when you're doing it, keep track of the time, keep track of the date. The sort of speed runniest way that you can do this is in 1 year, but typically you can't, just because there are some bundles that will take multiple years to get, whether it's making sure that your fishing skill is high enough to catch a sturgeon, or whether it's finally getting enough money to afford an apricot sapling so you can plant it and get apricots. You won't always get super lucky with the traveling merchant, and she may not always have a bundle item. Because it's so early in the game and because we've filled so few bundles, the chance of her having a bundle item is very good. Oh, yes! Okay, mayonnaise machine, that's whatever. Stone fence, that's whatever. Sprinkler. Sprinkler means... Here, I'll show you during the day. Sprinklers do the work for you. And different quality sprinklers do different quality jobs. This is just the most basic of sprinklers. Alright, so, ooh, Queen of Sauce. She teaches cooking recipes. Learned coleslaw. What's the weather for tomorrow? It's going to be sunny and beautiful today, and it's going to be sunny and beautiful tomorrow. Okay. And then what's today's luck? Neutral. Okay, so we could do anything today. Oh, bollocks, we missed one. That's okay, I think we have an auxiliary seed. We do. We have exactly one. Dang! I was really hoping we'd get a, another quality parsnip. Alright, so instead of going to every individual tile and watering things like this, what sprinklers do is they automatically water, as you would imagine. Alright, so I'm going to demonstrate. Just a regular sprinkler waters every tile around it. So if I were to put one here, it would water this one, this one, this one, and whatever's here, if I put the sprinkler right there. That's the most basic of sprinklers. Quality sprinklers, which take an iron bar, a gold bar, a copper bar, plant, I think it's every tile around it. So if I were to plant it here, it'd water this, 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 and this. If I had an iridium sprinkler, which is the highest quality sprinkler you can have, it waters everything 2 squares around it. So if I planted it here, it would water, I think, not only this, but then another row around it. I know this is disjointed, don't worry, I will expand it this way so it'll be more even. For the meantime, we are going to have to buy some seeds. So let's save these, drop that off. And yes, I know I still have the watering can with me, but I think we're going to expand the farm a little bit. So that means we're going to have to water again. That'll be one of our things for today. And we have a good bit of energy too, so I think that won't be a problem. That's a Junimo, by the way. They're cute little forest spirits. They want to use their magic to help restore the community center. Boom! Bundle completed. That's the second one we've done. Speed grow. That makes your crops grow faster, which sounds, one, super redundant because, of course, it's called speed grow. But if you can grow your crops faster, it means you get more crops per season if you time it right. That would have been really great to have before we got the strawberries, but that's okay. So that also means that we've unlocked another bundle. This is the construction bundle. Well, collection. This is the easiest one to fill. You literally just spend a little bit of time in the mines. We do have a copper bar. We can already fill this one. These two, you take a little bit longer. We got to get to level, I think, 40 to start finding these, and you got to get to about level 75 to start finding these. Same thing to find these. Level 75 and longer. This you can get pretty early on, and the slime you can get pretty early on, but thankfully you don't have to use all 4. You only have 2 slots. My bet right now is it's probably going to be a bat wings and then one of these, whichever we run into first. This you run into early on. We've seen one already, haven't we? This one the same. This one only comes through the frost levels, which are the places you find iron, and you only find this where you find gold. So again, levels 40-ish, level 75-ish. This is one of the first bundle collections that I finished in my other game. Not just because there are only 3 of them, but because if you spend a good amount of time in the mines, Once you start getting enough items for one of the bundles, you'll have enough items for all of the bundles. So you can complete all of them pretty much around the same time. Whereas with the pantry, the fish tank, and the craft room, you kind of have to plug away a little at a time. And finishing the minecart, or finishing the boiler room and getting the minecart is invaluable because you get to fast travel. And that highly increases the amount you can do in a day. So what were we going to do? Oh yeah, go to Pierce. We're right here. And the rest of these are sellables because we're just going to be buying seeds. We can afford some better things. Let's see, it's the 14th, so now we're gonna, once we're in the middle, we're gonna start be paying attention to the mature time. So this takes 6 days. It takes 4 days. Parsnips are always the least amount of time. Beans take 10, so I'd say we have enough beans. I think we're good for that. Cauliflower takes 12, so that means the earliest we could harvest this without using speed grow is the 26th. That's cutting it pretty close, but I think we can do it. Let's buy a couple. Potatoes are a nice in-between. They take 6 days to harvest, and they're fairly lucrative. I'd say they're a really good middle-of-the-road seed. Kale, much like potatoes, is takes the same amount of time to mature. It does sell a little bit better, though. Obviously, since it's 20 gold more per seed, you would hope so. Blue Jazz. Blue Jazz you use to make lucky lunches, but because we're not even close to getting that recipe yet, and I only just learned how to do it in year 2 of my game, we'll leave that be. Also, we don't even have an apiary, so the flowers would literally be useless for the time being. So let's get some potatoes, some kale, and if we have some extra seeds, we'll use them as auxiliary seeds, which is fine. Alright, so let's plant these, and then we'll decide what we're doing, because today's going to be a neutral day. I think today would be a good day to go back to the mines. See if we can advance. If we have any energy left, that is. Because we're going to expand the farm. Alright, we have already fertilized this area, so let's put the parsnips here. Okay. I think it's too late to fertilize those. It's not! Ha ha ha! Alright, so some of our strawberry seeds, or no, these are kale seeds, I think. That'll hasten the amount of time it takes for those to grow. Alright, so let's expand a little bit. See, I expanded it by 3 tiles, I think, in this direction. So let's expand it 3 tiles in that direction. And if you screw up, you just take the pickaxe and you make it pretty again. Let's see, we brought cauliflower, so let's plant the cauliflower on the speed grow, because that means that we'll get more cauliflower. Let's put the kale here, because that was the other seed that takes the longest to get. Let's see. Put the potatoes, which usually take longer. And then we can just use regular fertilizer for the parsnips. Because I don't think speed grow increases the quality of the product, it just increases the speed at which it grows, which makes it extremely valuable. But in early game, you gotta, I like to stockpile the speed grow. You do eventually learn how to make it, but it's going to take us a little bit before we get to that point. Alright, so let's cut down a tree, get some sap, fertilize the last of it, and then we'll decide what we're doing with the day. I'm mostly sure we're going to be going to the mine. We're going to be taking some forageables with us, just because you can't go into the mine at half energy. It's stupid. That's how you die. Well, not strictly. You don't die in this game. But you lose all your health. Somebody comes in, takes you out. You lose your money. You lose a lot of items. And all of those things are bad, so we're not going to do that. Alright, so we've fertilized everything. Good, good. Let's throw the spare fertilizer in there. We're going to drop this stuff off. Oh, we're going to get the spring onions too. Let's not forget. Again. There you go. The leeks are probably the best forageables for the spring. They give you so much energy for so little. These are good for gifts, but let's just sell them. I will run a Facebook poll later about who you guys think I should date. And I'll try to give you some descriptions of characters as well. I know we haven't really met everybody, at least not formally. So you guys probably don't know all of their personality types if you haven't played this before. I'll go through them on my Facebook page. No, there's not a clown down here, but there is something similar. Don't worry, she doesn't get eaten. Don't worry, it's just Krobus. Here's Leia. Yeah, Robin is a carpenter and Leia is an artist. She is one of the datables, by the way. Wow, our luck has been bonkers with these spring onions. Oh well. Because there isn't a set plot where they grow, you can't fertilize them and hope for the best. Not that I've seen, at least. Hey, Abigail. Abigail's kind of an eccentric. Like, sometimes you'll see her playing the flute in the rain over by the mines. Alright, you can find good stuff in the trash cans. I actually won a festival with a salmon dinner that I once found in the trash can, and nobody knew the difference. You can also sometimes find items. I remember we found a geode, I believe, the last stream in Gunther's garbage. Not that I think he would ever throw one out, but... Ooh! Ooh, speaking of artifacts, we're going to go to Gunther's. And I don't think he closes at the same time as Clint's, so we'll, I think, still be in good shape. There's Sam. He's a dateable. In the summer, this is a little ice cream stand, and Alex comes to sell ice cream. You do get money for donating stuff to Gunther. And here are some of the lost books that we found earlier. You would find them either in worm piles, you hoe little special areas, and you find these books. And the books are nice because they give you tricks about the characters, which is really helpful if you're trying to learn what gifts they like so you can date them. It also gives you a little bit of lore. It also gives you a little bit of, not quite plot, but a bit more world building too. This one is written by Marnie. See, it gives you little gameplay tricks. Don't keep animals outside in the rain. So we've read that one. Use fertilizer to improve quality, reduce workload, or hasten crop growth, which we've been doing. Hasten crop growth is the speed grow. Fertilizer we've been using. This would be water retention fertilizer, which once you water it, stays watered for a little while, which is really good when you're growing crops in the summer. Fruit trees take a whole season to grow. They require very little maintenance. Keep the area directly around your new sapling clear, or else it may not grow properly. that's for later. We're not going to be able to even afford a sapling until probably winter. Crops will die as soon as the season ends, unless they grow in multiple seasons, e.g. corn. I believe the other ones that grow in multiple seasons, I think there's at least one other crop that does that. Wheat. That's what it is, it's wheat. Some crops, yeah, such as kale and wheat, need to be harvested with the scythe. Kale only grows in the spring, but wheat does grow summer into fall. So if you grow these two, even just as placeholders, they'll last through the season. And then what's this one? Shut up. I'm trying to read. Please. No. I want to show the viewers what this trick is. Yeah, that's right. Just hoe the library. Whatever. If you can, there will be more books here as you go. We'll just try to read that later. Probably something I already mentioned. Alright. Yeah, he's closed. That's right. I was going to keep tabs on how much it takes to upgrade your first weapon. I believe... No! I wrote it in my notes. That's right. I'm more diligent than I think I am. So let's check the notes. I believe I wrote them down. Yeah, here we go. So to upgrade your weapons, and your tools. Weapons and tools. The weapons you can upgrade, but generally you'll just be given upgrades, either as you go through the mines, or you can buy them from the Adventurers Guild. You'll save a lot of money if you don't do the Adventurers Guild buys, because then you'll just find either the same thing or a better thing in the mines for free. Okay, so I have it right here. So upgrading your tools to copper level, because our tools are all basic level right now. So to upgrade any of these, whether it's the pickaxe, the axe, or the hoe, to copper level, it takes 5 copper bars and 2,000 gold each, in which that tool becomes unusable for like a day and a half. Let's eat some food first before we go down. To upgrade it to iron, you have to first have upgraded it to copper. So unlike Terraria, where if you just get really lucky and find an early node, you can just go straight to iron, you can't in this game. It has to be copper already. You have to have 5 copper bars, and okay, steel, sorry. To get a steel tool, you need 5 iron bars, and it takes 5,000 gold to upgrade each item. And then its final upgrade, iridium, takes 10,000 gold, and it's 5 iridium bars each. Now we can catch a ghost fish in here. I wonder if our skill is high enough. If not, we'll just get more forageables, which is also fine, especially because we can't spend that much time down here. All we need is 1 for the bundle. We'll just try a couple of casts. If we don't catch one by 7:30, we're giving up. So far as I've seen, it's the only fish down here. So long as it's a hit, then and not just a forageable, I think we'll get a ghost fish. Alright, we're giving up. It's fine though, we have forageables. And we expended comparatively little energy. So when you're in the mines, it's twofold. You fight stuff, and then you find ladders. However, while we're down here, so long as you see these grubs, they drop... Oh! One of the scrolls! We can bring that to Gunther. Bug meat is used for bait, so if we do upgrade the fishing rod, which we will, using bait will improve the quality of fish that we get, and it'll also increase their bite rate, so we don't have to wait quite as long. So long as we upgrade our fishing pole and use bait, I think we will have an easier time getting ghost fish. Alright, I always like to hoe these areas because you either get forageables or you get scrolls. We were very lucky. This took me, in my other game, an entire year to find. So this has already been worth it, even if we don't make the full 5 feet down. The one thing I like about this old sword, you do get better swords later, but I love the knockback. Especially for these buggers. There we go. Alright, there was some quartz up there, so... Okay, there's the ladder. I'm just gonna go grab this quartz, because we need that for a bundle. You guys are gonna get sick of me saying that word, but welcome to the rest of the game. Because the community center is gonna take probably 2 years to fill. If we play our cards right. Maybe less. I mean, you guys have been pretty lucky so far. So maybe you guys will be the charm that I need. Alright, this means it's going to be an energy, an enemy rich level. Oh, that was good. Alright, so I'm just going to grab this. If we can just get down one more level, we'll hit the checkpoint. I'm surprised we're making our way so quickly, especially with truly neutral luck. That's not typical. Like I said, you guys are good luck. We might need to take an energy penalty today. I don't think we're going to get back in time to make the midnight thing. There we go! Alright. Let's go home. I'm so tempted to use the minecart, but we can't. Alright, let's grab the daffodil just because we don't need it. Let's keep the coal, the stone, copper here because we don't need it for the time being. Now let's run home. I think we're going to make it before 1, so I think we'll still be okay, but we gotta rush home. I don't have COVID-19, I'm just thirsty. Much better. There we go. Yeah, we made it. Crop Fairy! This is super rare! She selects a portion of your crops and just makes them automatically, like, full growth. I think she chose a couple strawberries. Oh my god, you guys. This is super rare, even for advanced players. She does not usually come. It took me halfway through my second year to even see her. Oh my god, you guys are like the best luck. Holy crap, I hope a lot of you are watching. Alright, so let's see. Living off the land usually gives you some foraging tricks. Salmonberry. Salmonberries! Okay, so I said strawberries were the most lucrative crop. Salmonberries are the most lucrative foraging things. For the next 3 days, that's what we're going to be doing, which will probably include this stream and a good portion of the next stream. Salmonberries are stupidly good for mine food. They are the best mine food in the game until you actually start cooking. They give you stupid amounts of energy. You literally pick them up off the ground, off the bushes. And we're going to try to get as many of them as we can. They also make really lucrative wine and jam, which we can't make yet, but if you stockpile them and hold them to the side, makes you so much money. And you wouldn't know that unless you watch the TV, which is why I check it every morning. Alright, tomorrow's going to be sunny. Our luck today is going to be bad, so I think it might be a good fishing day, if we have any time to do anything else. Most crops only grow in one season. When summer arrives, your spring crops will all die out, so plan ahead. Yeah. Look at what the fairy has done. I'm also super excited that she chose some of the strawberries because Oh, another golden parsnip. Because those will keep producing. So the fact that we already have strawberries that we're producing, Alright, so we need 3 more of those before spring ends. So we have 15, wrong, 12, technically 12 and a half days to get 3 more of these. And, oh yeah, she also gave us some kale. Thank you, fairy. So we're going to put a lot of stuff in here. Boom, 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 boom. There's not much else you need bug meat for. So I always just make it into bait. Alright, so we did have... We're going to have to buy some seeds. That's okay, though. And the fertilizer stays, so you literally just have to get the plants. Man, I've never seen the fairy this early on. That was stupidly lucky. I don't know what you guys did, but good job. Alright, so let's water this, because we have the time. Yeah, see, look, no energy penalty. Alright, let's try to use math to determine how many seeds we need. Because I almost always over or under buy. I rarely exactly guess. So let's see. Alright, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So we need 17 seeds in total for this to be a full field. Let's take those with us. We can sell them to Pierre. Always check for forageables. Nope, no bundles up there, not yet. What's the quest? Nobody's birthday, but we did miss Haley's. Fire quartz. Yeah, we're not going to be able to do that. Fire quartz is something we are not going to see for a little while. Oh, you know what we also didn't do yesterday? Traveling merchant. Oh well. Oh well. It's too late now. Let's see, we need 17, so let's get... So 9, 12, 17. And because we watered everything, we're just going to plant everything, and then we can go back to the mine if we want. I like to put the kale in the speed grow just because it's the longer gestating plant of the 3 that we bought, as are potatoes. There we go, we planned that perfectly. Alright, let's drop these off for the bundle. I think we do also have something else we can drop off too. Yep, copper bar. We don't have 99 of those yet. Can't do that. We can, however. Oh, let's also drop off the bait. We can't use that yet. We will soon. Technically, the fishing rod is the easiest thing to upgrade. You can, if you want, if you don't prioritize fishing like I've been doing, I think it's 7,500 gold, but you can just go right to the iridium fishing pole once it becomes available. You don't have to technically upgrade the fishing pole as you go like you would the other tools. And that's the best fishing pole in the game, so far as I know. Any ranking after the bamboo pole, which is the one that we have, so either fiberglass or iridium, does use bait. This one doesn't, unfortunately. I'll show you guys how that works. Boom, halfway done. And then, yeah, these we'll have to find later. Bats, I think, show up after level 30-ish. So we're getting close. I think we just hit 25 last night. Yeah, so at the end of this day, we'll have to call it quits. Salmonberry season starts either today or tomorrow. Oh yeah, we're going to drop this off at Gunther's too. Make sure nobody sees you when you do this, or they don't like it. Yeah, I don't see any salmonberries yet, so I think it'll probably start tomorrow. Ooh! Bubbles. When you see bubbles, fish. It's not there forever, but it sometimes can increase the quality of fish that you catch. It also increases the frequency at which you catch them. Always make sure you catch your sunfish before the end of summer, because then you will not catch it for the rest of the year, and it is a bundle fish. We've already caught ours during one of our previous streams, but my brother forgot to catch his sunfish. He had to wait an entire year to get it again, and it was the only fish that he needed to finish the fish tank. So sucks to suck. Don't do that. The other fish that's a seasonal fish is the catfish. I think you can only get it in fall and winter. Not that that'll be a problem for us. We haven't even seen our first fall yet, but some fish are entirely dependent on the season, so make sure you do some research to see what fish you don't want to miss on catching. I'm only going to do this until the bubbles are gone. Alright, this is our last cast. I swear. I know this isn't the Stardew fishing channel, it's the Stardew Village channel, but I'm sorry if fishing makes us money, okay? Alright. Turn in the scroll. Scroll 1. I like to keep all the scrolls together. Cool. It's the first of the 4. Melon seeds! Ooh, very nice. We can only plant these in the summer, and they're basically the summer cauliflowers, but they're very lucrative. So I think cauliflower seeds are, what are they, like 75, 100 gold a seed? So the fact that he just gave us 9 of them is between 8 and 900 gold for free worth of seeds. So thank you, Gunther. That was worth it. If we find the dwarf scrolls 2, 3, and 4, we'll finally learn what the dwarf in the mine is saying, and he'll be able to sell us explosives. Cherry bombs, bombs, mega bombs. Which you'll need for skull caverns, but since we're not even close to there yet, I'd say don't worry. Ooh, and more worms. And another book! We can't read it from here, we have to physically go to the museum, but that's okay. We'll go there again later. As of right now, let's drop some of these things off, and then we'll decide what we're doing. I think going back to the mines would be helpful. Kids around, can't do it. Oh, here we go. Alright, the salmon berries have spawned. This is what we're doing the rest of the day. Checking as many bushes as we physically can. Alright, yeah, Haley's a photographer, so she's not paying attention in the slightest. That is okay. Alright, I'm looking for bushes here. There are bushes, but they're not all covered in salmon berries like I was hoping. Yes, I won't forget to check the spring onions. He sells hats. He's just a hat mouse. Okay, let's check to see if any spring onions spawned. Wow, stiffed again. Well, you win some, you lose some, I guess. Some days you get pomegranates from the traveling merchant, and some days you get absolutely not a single spring onion ever. The game giveth, the game taketh away. Let's use the scythe, actually. Scythe costs no energy to use. Yeah, we'll be foraging for salmon berries, I think, instead of going to the mines. This is the secret woods. This is the first secret area that you'll get to unlock. You do, however, need an iron axe to get there, because you physically cannot get there otherwise. So once you upgrade your axe to iron, you'll be able to get into the secret woods. And that'll be one of the places where you get to farm hardwood, which you need for a good number of things, including a bundle. You need it for a bundle, you need it for a stable, I think you need it for most of the barns. I think you need it for a couple other things too. Yes, the salmon berries you're going to want to keep. Everything else we can sell. Oh, yeah, and obviously put the seeds away. We can't even use them until the end of the season. Oh, also, if you want your cat to continue liking you, or your dog, none of your animals die in this game, but you can affect their happiness. Always try to keep that water bottle, that water bowl filled. Makes them happy. Makes them more likely to sleep on your bed with you. Some people aren't into that, to have their pets on their bed. I call those people wrong, because I love having my pet on my bed with me. My dog, Sammy, sleeps with mommy and daddy, with my parents. But once I move out and get my kitty, I will be very happy if they decide to sleep with me. I will consider it a great honor. That doesn't surprise me. I don't see how else you build a house. Yes, I know we're physically at the mine, but this is the bridge to the quarry, by the way. That's the one that we complete if we fill out the pantry, which will be hugely useful because you can see over there that there's iron. And iron we need for 1, most crafting stations, 2, that bundle, and 3, sprinklers. Just getting as many salmon berries as we can, I think will be worth the time. there aren't going to be any down by the ocean, so I think that's pretty much it. So, it's not really enough time to go to the mine and get much done. Let's just go fishing. And why don't we go fishing in the ocean? See if we can get some bundle fish. Oops, not enough space. There we go. Alright, a little bit of thrash factor. This could be a sardine or an anchovy. Herring! Okay. Cut down the tallest tree of the forest with a herring. Let's see, I believe the bundle fish for oceans are red snapper, tilapia, tuna. Oh. Sardine. Ooh, this one's a little thrashier. Just in case it drops. Alright. So we've got a herring and a halibut. Nope. 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 Alright, I was mostly right. Sardine, tuna, red snapper, tilapia. So these are just money fish. Ooh, it's 11:30. Last cast, then we're leaving. I know. This is a little thrashier. Alright, good halibut. Alright, we're leaving. Alright, I believe this is the end of the stream too, because it is about 5:15. So let's turn in, get our money, go to bed. We'll reevaluate. I'll let you guys know what's going to happen in the next stream. My work schedule's been changing a little bit, just because my workplace's hours have just been extended, but they only told us as of, like, last night. So, flying a little bit by the seat of my pants. So far, my schedule's been changed twice in the last 3 days. Tentatively, I'm going to say that the next stream is going to be Thursday, same time. I'll keep you guys posted in case that changes. That seems to be the most stable day I can predict. Toss those in, toss that in. Alright, we're going to take a bit of an energy penalty tomorrow, but that's okay. We've got plenty of forageables. Alright, so let's see the tally. Oh, we can craft a bee house, and speed grow, and farmer's lunch. So we can make speed grow now. And we can make a recycling machine. Hell yes! Okay, so I know what we're doing next stream. And look how much money we made! Okay, guys. I believe that's going to be the end of the stream for today. Thanks for joining me. Next stream will hopefully be Thursday. There are some things that we're going to be doing. I would say the top 3 are going to be 1, continuing farming salmon berries. 2, crafting a couple new stations, an apiary, bee house, recycling machine, so we can finally start getting rid of that garbage, and compiling some refined quartz, which we'll need for almost every big crafting station later, and also we'll need them for the sprinklers, which are super important. I believe we'll also try to make some tappers so we can start getting tree materials, oak resin, pine tar, and maple syrup, which not only are bundle items, but they're also cooking items, and they're also crafting items. With oak resin, we'll need them for casks. We'll try to also go to the mines. So I'm just making some notes as to what we should do for our next stream. Let's see, we have those. What can we make now? Yeah, the mayonnaise machine we won't need until we get a coop, at least. These 2 will be important. Oh, and yeah, let's make a crab potter too. Which means that we will need to advance in the mines enough to get some iron bars. Alright, so those will be our goals for next time. Alright, so I have that all down. Thank you for joining me. Have a good day, Stardews and streamers. Stardews and dreamers. Stardews and streamers would be me. Try to avoid the news for this week. Remain in solidarity for those who are fighting for rights, rights to live, rights for freedom, rights for, existing. Risk what you're willing to risk. Know that you are also allowed to take time for yourself. You are allowed to recharge. You cannot fill a cup once yours is empty. Fight the good fight if you can. Support people in the ways that you can. If you feel that you can't, know that staying vigilant, sharing posts that you see, proclaiming that you're in solidarity with those who you believe are fighting for what's right, that will still help. I'm just making these streams knowing that sometimes this can just be a little escape from that. So just try to stay sane, guys. I know that it's kind of a lot with the protests and the pandemic and the government being our government, and all the other things going on, but please keep hanging in there, at least until Thursday, right? So I'll see you guys later.